Well, good evening, everybody. What a beautiful night to play football at Ratliff Stadium tonight. And an old foe that until last year the Panthers have had a whole lot of trouble with. That would be the Wolford Frenship Tigers. They will be facing off against your Panthers tonight. Should be quite a game. Panthers have won the toss. They have elected to take the ball to start with as they want to get on the gas early. Stay with us. We'll be back to Ratliff Stadium for Frenship's Tigers and Permian's Panthers in just a moment.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have two different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it, but we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! Into your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Petroplex SWD Systems is honored to sponsor the Game of the Week. As football fans, we're looking forward to a great season. Just as us West Texans take pride in the Falcons, so does Petroplex SWD Systems take pride in being a premier saltwater disposal service provider. With locations spanning from Glasscock to northern Andrews County, we are strategically positioned to handle all of your saltwater disposal needs. We understand that SWD facility downtime affects your bottom line. Therefore, we make proactive maintenance a priority and are prepared to quickly address any facility issues. If you are looking for a saltwater disposal solution for current or future project development, give us a call. We're always looking to expand and are looking forward to a bright and prosperous future with UTPB and the community. On behalf of everyone at Petroplex SWD Systems, go Falcons. Enjoy the game.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Transglobal Productions. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fanville. And brought to you in part by Petroplex SWD Systems, your saltwater disposal specialist, as well as Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. I'd like to welcome in my cohorts again tonight, Larry Thornhill, who does all the stats, and Kyle Hubbard, who does all the analysis work. So let's start with Kyle and ask you, what do we have to do to pull a W out of the hat tonight?
Well, since they're going to start on offense, Barry, why don't we talk about what the Permian offense needs to do tonight? I think there's no secret about it. Get that ground attack going, mix in the pass when you want to. Give this Frenship Tiger defense a steady dose of people like Mr. Ed Williams, Peyton Powell when he wants to run, I should say, or has that option. Get Hammond and Harrell and some of those other guys out on the edge and let them get going. I think defensively, get some pressure on this young Frenship quarterback. They've got a youngster starting tonight, force him into mistakes early. And I call it the dangling carrot, Barry, the third key. Get a win tonight so you can get a first-round playoff game here at home at Ratliff Stadium.
So Shawner will return the kick out beyond the 30 to the 31. Now our first attention tonight is going to be the two guys that handle the ball the most, and that is the starting center, who tonight will be Isaac Gamboa, number 65, and we expect Christian Rodriguez, and there he is, number 26, to start at quarterback for Permian as they want to rest Peyton Powell and a leg issue to get him ready for Midland Lee next week. Christian's going to hand the ball off to his running back, and Williams. Ed Williams will get about 5 yards, and as Kyle just mentioned, a steady dose of Ed tonight. I'm expecting about 32 runs from him. Permian averages 44 a game, and I think that's going to probably go up to about 52 runs tonight.
Yeah, I think so, and the give was to Ed Williams off that right side behind Dawson Reynolds and Landon Peterson, the guard and tackle respectively, and they did their job to get Ed 5 yards on his first carry of the ball game.
Kyle will hit on the rest of the offensive line and the receivers after this, so the pitch back again to number 27, and Williams will have maybe a yard and bring up the first third down of the night.
We've already introduced the right tackle and guard. As Barry said, Isaac Gamboa is getting the start tonight at center. The left guard is Rodney Gann, the senior, number 75. And Bruce James, the left tackle, is number 71. He's a junior. We'll see Ed Williams, Dominique Nelson a little bit in the backfield tonight, and a whole host of wide receivers, including Alex Rose, Justin Hammond, Christian Shawner, Tyler Ramage, Braden Ray, and a few others.
A good 4 yards needed, so will Christian throw the ball or pitch it? He's going to pitch it back to Harrell. Harrell's going to have the first down and get out beyond the 40. So just a great job by Caden Harrell, who had 138 yards, averaging about 5.3 per carry before tonight. He gets out to the 42-yard line, and he gets his 5 yards that he's normally getting.
Caden Harrell following the blocks off that left side, just got around the corner, and as Barry said, got across the 40-yard line to the 42 of Permian, and it is a first down for the Panthers.
Ramage is the only receiver out to the right. I don't know where the ball go. They dropped it on the floor, and it's going to be picked up by Wolford Frenship. Friendship's Julio Albera is going to come up with the fumble recovery. What happened there?
Well, he just didn't get the ball into Ed's belly and didn't secure it there. And the run was actually going to go to the right, and that ball squirted out back to the near sideline, or the home sideline where Permian is. And it is a turnover early in the ball game. Now, this is not what you want to do to start, so the Panther defense has got to step in early in the ball game on this first series. I got trips to the left side, and with a team like this, it's 0-3 in district. They're liable to do just about anything, Barry.
Now, the Permian is plus or minus 0 in the turnover department. We'll talk about the starting quarterback. Well, for a moment there, I thought he was going to try to throw the ball up there to make the tackle. Defensively is going to be Keaton Armstrong. The quarterback will be Jake Sherrod, who played the second half of last week, 7-13, 54% completion, 1 interception, no touchdowns. So this first pass is actually going to lose them a yard. They started from the Permian 43, and they're going to be back actually to the 42, and they're going to be back to the 43. So Sherrod going to hand it to, I think that's Bayouth. Going to hand it back to William Bayouth, the sophomore, 5'11", 180-pound running back, had 246 yards before tonight. They did get the tackle on him at the 39, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. Permian got 4 picks last week, Kyle. They may be in tune for 4 more tonight.
And Andy Notley stepping up in to make the play. Good story about Andy today in the Odessa American. You may be right. This Panther secondary may have a field night. Getting some turnovers. We could sure use one right now.
Yep, going to be 3rd and long. Looking down the field. Has a man open just very quickly. That's Skylar Newsom. That's the guy he's going to want to get the ball to. It's C6'4", 205. Had 36 catches before tonight, 640 yards, 5 TDs. 17.8 per, and it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
And look at this formation, Barry. Of course, they can't run a play from this because you got to have at least 7 on the line, but they're trying to confuse the Panthers and make it tough for them to get lined up. But Permian looks like they've handled that twice pretty well.
Yeah, 4 of 16.
Here's a pass.
In 4th down, they're going to throw the ball back to Sherrod. Sherrod's going to try to get the first. He will, and he's down the field. Nobody was there to cover him. Sherrod's going to be down inside the 10. Oh, my goodness. Jake Sherrod on the toss back. He threw it to Drew Hocutt. Hocutt threw it back to him, and there was nobody to cover him.
Well, it's just a double pass, Barry, on a throwback. And that's what I said a while ago, Barry. You're 0-3. You're liable to see a team try anything. Little couple of trick plays here to start the ball game for Friendship. Here they are at the Permian 10-yard line.
On the 4th down, they convert. Down to the Panther 10. They cannot get a first down, so it's 1st and goal from the 10. Late flags coming in. Handed the ball off to William Bayouth, but it's going to be a 15-yard. It's going to be a 5-yard.
Contact was made on the defense.
No, I take that back. It's going to be the other way. It's going to be down to the 5-yard line on a 1st and 10, half the distance to the goal.
That's Dal Watson, our referee, giving us the call there. I'll give you the rest of the officiating crew here in a minute.
Panthers need to settle down, don't they?
Well, yeah, just the turnovers kind of made it uneasy and a little unsettling, and you're right. They just need to settle in play.
So Bayouth will get the handoff here and get maybe a half a yard.
I think that's Jake Parchman coming off the bottom from his nose tackle position to get in there and make that play. Had some help from Matt Jones as well, number 18, from the defensive end position.
About 62 degrees when we kicked off. Probably will cool off to 58. Clear skies, 10-mile visibility. West-southwest winds at 14, no gust, 28% humidity. So really a nice night to be playing football here in West Texas. Sherrod with Bayouth to his right, looking to throw the ball. Here comes some pressure. He's able to sidestep that. Tried to get the ball into somebody.
I believe that's number 6. That's number 6 for them, Barry. Cooper Scott was the intended receiver over here. Got pressure coming from the outside by Easton Hernandez. Also had a blitz coming inside, looked like from either Notley and or Adams, and that forced that young man to get rid of the football before he wanted to. Here's 3rd and goal from the Panther 5-yard line.
6'3", 175-pound sophomore is this quarterback. Looking left now, right over the middle. Had him open for just a very slight moment against Shawner. They tried to get the ball in. I think that was that Newsom?
I believe that was Newsom, and Shawner had great coverage there. They tried to motion the back to the far side to pull the linebacker out of the throwing lane so they could throw the quick slant, and Shawner had it defended very well from his corner position.
Cage Jones from 22. He's 5 of 11 on field goals this year, wanting to put the Frenship Tigers on the board and for the early lead. And does he do it? He does. So from 22 yards out, following a Permian fumble, the Wolforth Frenship Tigers are on top of our Panthers by 3-0 with 7:45 to play in the first.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
The Texas oil boom has returned, and Rexco Poly Fittings is your Lone Star choice in polyethylene, steel, and brass needs with a wide variety to choose from. Locally owned and operated in the Permian Basin since 1982, Rexco's experienced staff will help you get the right fittings and valves to help you get the job done. Go to RexcoPoly.com. Rexco, your poly supply company located in Midland and Odessa.
Rexco! The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Trans Global Productions, brought to you in part by both the Odessa High and the Permian Booster Clubs. Well, that should light a fire under those boys in black and white. 22-yard field goal from Cage Jones, capping an 8-play, 37-yard drive in 2:20. Permian's first series, got a first down, and then they played Fumbalaya. Gave up the ball on the 42-yard line. Permian coming into the ball game had lost 10 of their 22 fumbles and were plus or minus 0 in the turnover department. Not good. And that, of course, got balanced by the fact they had 12 interceptions, but they have only recovered 2 fumbles on the season, Kyle, and that just boggles my mind. Recovers only 2 in 8 games.
That's generally not a winning formula for football teams,
No.
but this Panther team is, made up for that with a very strong running game, as we all know, and mixed in the pass pretty well. So let's see what adjustments they've made now on this second drive of the game.
Again, Christian Rodriguez, the quarterback starting the ball game tonight, hands the ball off inside, and Ed Williams will have little to nothing to run against. This series started back in 2012. Wolforth won the game at 2012, 2013, and 2016 before Permian finally broke loose and won for the first time last season. They won that ball game 66-14. The average score 31 for us, 33 for them. The 2016 game up at Wolforth, Permian led that one 28-10 at the half, and then imploded after the injuries to Brother Miller that night and Kobe Robinson, and gave up 30 in the second half and did not score anything and lost that one by 40-28. So I'm sure that has been talked about a bit in the Panther locker room this week. Permian now facing a third down. What do you think they're going to call here, Kyle?
I think they're going to try to get out wide here with either Hammond. With Hammond being the slot, I wouldn't be surprised if him or Harrell don't come. Look at the stacked line, Barry, by Wolford there at the line of scrimmage.
First incomplete pass thrown by Christian Rodriguez this year. Can you believe that? Coming into the ball game, he was 4 for 4 for 14 and a TD. So the first time that he's thrown the ball, and we hadn't grabbed it.
Well, and, you know, Christian just hasn't had a lot of playing time with the first bunch, with the first squad, and, you know, him starting tonight, his first game of the year at the quarterback position, may have a little jitters, little nerves.
Yeah, a little
Got to
butterfly.
settle in.
Carson Roberts, averaging a little over 35 a kick, stands back at his 20, looking to pin the Tigers deep and letting the defense take over. Nice job of kicking the ball. It's short, but it's going to bounce, hopefully, Permian's way. They are going to get the ball right around the 20, looks like the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good punt by Carson, and as you said, a nice roll there. Now the Panther defense, you can probably sure bet they talked over here on the sideline about expecting just about anything from this offense because they've got nothing to lose.
Well, they average 119 running, 244 throwing. That's 363 a game. Average 26 points, but they've only averaged in district play 15. In fact, they've been outscored in district play 47-15. And Permian, of course, would like to, if that's the final score, that would be perfectly okay with the guys in black and white. Sherrod's going to throw the ball. Again, he rolls out to his right. He's going to run it because he has nobody to throw it to. And he's going to get a first down up to the 46-yard line, so a gain of 20.
Panther defense lost contain over here, Barry. Cameron Martinez came on an inside blitz from his outside linebacking position. He's got the outside gap responsibility, which tells me somebody up front had to replace or take that outside gap, and they did not do that. It's a first down for the Tigers at the 46 of Frenship.
Yeah, it was a 12-yard run. The line of scrimmage was the 34. Bayouth running behind the left guard and tackle, Mandrell and Filio. Well, scrum is still going, but he's going to be very close to a first. 246 yards, 4.5 yards a carry coming in. Little squirt, 5'11", 180 sophomore, but had a good year, and obviously from that run, he's something to be dealt with.
That's a good blocking scheme up front by the Frenship Tiger offense. They just got the nose influenced one way and went right in behind it and got a nice 9-yard gain on first down.
So it is going to be 2nd and 1.
Let's see if they throw the ball here, Barry. Maybe take a shot on 2nd and short. There it is, but Mr. Tanner Adams is going to get there on a middle linebacker inside blitz or stunt. Watch our Transglobal Productions instant replay. Notley went one way, Adams came the other way, and they just had a meeting of the two inside linebackers in the backfield. Instead of it now being 3rd and 1, they lost 9 yards on the sack, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 back at the original line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line.
That's Tanner Adams' first sack of the season. Manny Ramirez back there to help him, so it is going to be the full 3rd and 10. He likes to throw the ball to two guys, Drew Hocutt, number 10, and Skylar Newsom, number 22. There is a timeout on the field.
Frenship. First charge timeout of the half.
So Dow Watson tells us it is charged to the Tigers. So the Tigers have the 3-0 lead with 4.5 to play in the first quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
Texas Burger's Banana Split. A banana never had it so good.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Transglobal Productions, brought to you in part by Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment and by Diamond Pump and Transport. I figure they're going to throw the ball here, Mr. Hubbard.
I think they probably are, too. Watch a screen pass. I'd be worried about a screen here.
Yeah, look for 22 or 10.
There it was out here on the side. They didn't pull the lineman for it. But number 33, again, Cameron Martinez, had the slot receiver covered very well. Did not execute the pass, and it's going to be really a 3 and out on the second part of that drive. Permian's going to get the football, I'm going to say, around their 10 to 15-yard line here.
Colton Brown, the intended target. So Permian looking to hopefully get a good enough punt to be able to return. Chase Stell, one of the safeties, is back to receive the kick. And he's backing away from it, so he's not going to return it. And it's going to get a good bounce for the Tigers down to the 5-yard line.
Well, let's see if the Permian offense here, Barry, wakes up now after 2 drives. One turnover on the first drive and didn't get much going on the second. The Panther offensive line has got to establish itself at the line of scrimmage. This Frenship defense is going to stunt, twist, move, try to do different things, crowd the line of scrimmage. And I think right now, if I was them, I'd think about putting the ball, I'm talking about Frenship, I'd make Christian Rodriguez, make him beat me right now by making some decisions.
Now they're going to hand the ball off inside and not going to get much there. Ed Williams coming into this ball game, over 33,000 yards. He is number 6 on the all-time list. Has a shot at Chris Comer. If Permian can go a couple of games deep into the playoffs, he has 32.27. Comer was a little over 3,700. But by far, the bell cow for this offense wears number 27.
There goes Hammond around the corner. Good job of blocking out there on the corner. Going to be very close to a first down as you see our Transglobal Productions instant replay. Let's go ahead and give you the officials or finish them out. We've already met Dal Watson, the referee, Delvin Gwynn's the umpire, the line judge Richard Gutierrez, the head linesman Joe Morolis, and the back judge is Robbie Waters. This is a Permian Basin chapter officiating crew.
They marked him at the 12. I thought he got to the 13, but I'm not wearing stripes. So it's going to be a full 3rd and 3 Permian needs, and they definitely and will get the first down as Ed Williams will get out to the 20-yard line for a nice gain of 8 coming into the season. Rather, coming into the game, 1,167 yards rushing for Ed, 13 touchdowns, 6.4 per. Only caught one pass in the passing game. That was last week, and it went for no yards. If they're going to run the ball tonight, it's going to be 27, 39, and 4, and some Christian Rodriguez, number 26, as well. They're not going to throw the ball much tonight at all. This may be a game very similar to what we saw when they played Broward a few weeks ago when they did not throw the ball one time. Well, they've already thrown it once, but Hammond now has run the ball twice. Coming in 392 yards, 7.5 per, and they've been able to kind of lock him down a bit here in the early going. But doesn't take much, Kyle, for him to squeeze through and get some big yardage where you think there's nothing there to deal with.
And especially if you get the slot receiver on that side to throw a block, Justin may be up the sideline before you can blink.
Harrell's going to, nope, they're going to hand it off inside. I thought he was going to pitch it to Harrell. A good job of tackling by one of the linemen, keeping him short of the first down. See if I get the number of who that was. That was number 28, who was Jake Gilbert, one of the linebackers. So the tackle was made at the 28-yard line and will bring up a full 2 yards needed on 3rd down.
We'll see what I'm expecting either 27 or 39 around the corner, and there he is. Look at that block. Good cut by Caden to get all the way up the field past midfield to the Frenship 46. Watch here on our Transglobal Production.
Watch Hammond on the block here.
He's going to cut the guy, get him outside. That's a good block coming from the inside. I didn't see who the number was there. That might have been either 56 or 55, Cole Brannon, looked like might have been on the field there, but he got a good block to get Caden Harrell on around the corner, and that is a nice Panther first down.
Yep, 23 yards on that run. Now they're going to pitch it back. Nope, Christian's going to get his first run of the night and get about 4.
It's a good read by him. It's a reverse option out of their offensive look or set. They want flow coming this way on the motion by the slot back, and then they just reverse and go to the other sideline or the far sideline. Christian read it very well, kept the ball. Did get his feet cut out from under him, but we'll take 4 yards any time, any play, setting up 2nd and 6.
That run by Harrell of 23 yards was his longest of the season. Now going to keep it here by Christian Rodriguez and bring up a 3rd and 1.
And you can see Christian now kind of settling in to the offense now, making his reads, getting some confidence as he, in this offense as a quarterback, it's just like running the option out of either the wishbone or the flex bone, only the quarterback's in a little pistol set, and he's got to make a read on the end man on the line of scrimmage and decide whether to give, keep, or pitch, and he did a good job of keeping the ball there.
Again, it's going to be a run, you figure?
I think this will be a run.
Need to get only a yard, need to get to the 39-yard line. Permian probably will go for it on 4th down if they need to, which they won't, because Ed Williams is going to be down to the 33-yard line for a gain of 7.
Good handoff and a good job up front. And I don't know if they're going to get another play off here at the end of the first quarter, not with 15 seconds clock running.
Well, we'll see. The only score in this quarter, a 22-yard field goal by Jones, capping an 8-play, 37-yard drive after a Permian fumble, and that is the end of the first quarter. So we have played one, and for a lot of us, surprised by the score. The Tigers 3 and the Panthers nothing. Back with the second quarter in a moment.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Urgency. That's what you need from your emergency room. After returning home from a mission trip with his son, Chris became ill. The personalized care and follow-up he received from ER staff at ORMC helped him to quickly return to what matters. When faced with the unexpected, your emergency is our emergency. At ORMC, we are here when you need us most. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
Texas Burger's all-beef chili cheese dog. Get one today.
Permian is 4 of 5 on 3rd downs. Coming into the ball game, 48% on 3rd down. They're also 12 of 20 on 4th down, and as we come back, it will be a 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Welcome in. 3-0. Frenship over Permian. At the end of one, the Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Trans Global Productions and brought in part by Odessa Regional Medical Center and Odessa College. Now, what you boys laughing at?
Well, I always remind Larry that he's got to change colors, every week, and he's showing me that he did follow directions. You're a good schoolboy.
Yeah, he's talking about colors so he can differentiate between the quarters. So Hammond will get his 3rd carry of the night. And Justin's going to be all the way down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first as he gets 12 on that one.
There's the pitch on our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Just found a crease off the right outside running lane there, and Hammond just turned on the jets and got all the way up to the Tiger 20-yard line. I guarantee you, Barry, this Tiger team has not seen the type of speed Permian has with Hammond and Harrell and some of these other guys that can get out on the corner.
Is that called a jet sweep?
No, that's that's just a pitch or a toss to Hammond coming around. The jet sweep would put him in motion right behind the quarterback, and he would hand it off to him. That was just a pitch out to him.
Well, this is the 12th play of the drive, but that began back at the 5-yard line. So Permian working on a 95-yard drive. Christian Rodriguez again, the quarterback, and Isaac Gamboa, the starting center tonight, as both Peyton Powell and Hunojos are getting a rest here in this game tonight against Frenship. So it was down to we need to get to the 10-yard line for a first, so it's going to be a 3rd and 1.
I expect number 27 to get this ball right here. Barry off one side or the other, depending on what the defense shows them, where the strength is, where they feel like they have an advantage, maybe with a gap or something like that. For me, I'd come right now because there's a gap between the tackle and the end down here. Nope.
They've given up 37 points a game, and in district that's been increased by 10 to 47. So far, Permian's had a bit of trouble with them as they are not on the board yet. However, that carry by Ed Williams will take him down to the 5-yard line, and the 14th play of the drive will come from the 5 with a 1st and goal from the 5.
Well, let's see if they keep the same script, if you will, and give the ball to number 27, or if they try to get somebody around the corner here with either Harrell. Hammond, I think, is coming in motion this way.
Christian Rodriguez does not have a rushing TD on the season, so it may be his time to score as well. They hand the ball off inside. Ed Williams is going to be down close to the 2, so a 2nd and goal from that point. There's a good shot of those behemoths up front.
And they're doing a good job right now. James, Gann, Gamboa, Reynolds, and Peterson are winning the line of scrimmage, and I think somebody's going to call timeout.
Frenship, 2nd charge, 1.5.
Dow Watson giving us the call there on that.
So 2nd timeout by the Tigers. Just under 10 minutes to play before half. It is still Tigers 3-0 over Permian, but they'll come back with a 2nd and goal from the 2.
For great flooring values and real customer service, forget the frustration of the big box stores. Paul Evans trained flooring professionals will save you time, money, and hassle on your next flooring project. Whether do-it-yourself or professionally installed, Paul Evans offers great values on carpet, tile, hardwood, and waterproof flooring. Paul Evans Flooring, Odessa and Midland. For over 30 years,
you just can't beat a Paul Evans deal.
What's freshness? It's Taco Villa's unique heart-shaped tortilla chips combined with creamy cheddar cheese, guacamole, and more. It's a soft, warm-filled bun with Taco Villa beef that's made fresh several times each day. It's a handmade burrito overflowing with perfectly grilled chicken, garden vegetables, and cheddar cheese. Taco Villa cooks your favorites all day long to ensure freshness you can taste. Taco Villa, freshness fanatics love.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Trans Global Productions, brought to you in part by Rexco, the Lone Star Choice and Poly Pipe, and by Petroplex SWD Systems. I said 2nd and goal from the 3, from the 2, it's from the 3. You're thinking what?
Well, I was thinking quarterback sneak until I saw Tanner Adams in the up back position here. I think they're going to just run a little lead play here.
Yeah, just ramrod it.
Yep, and there it is. And boy, Frenship played it pretty well.
He's going to be down with that 2nd effort close to the 1.
They brought Tanner Adams, the inside linebacker on defense, in as a lead blocker, but now they're going to bring him right back out and go to their traditional set.
Yeah, Matt Jones was also in there, Kyle, as a tight end.
Tight end, yeah. My thinking was on the play before, they're probably looking for Ed Williams or Hammond or Harrell. Why not let Christian Rodriguez just do a little quarterback sneak right up the middle? I don't think Frenship would be looking for that.
If he handed it to Adams, they wouldn't be looking for that either. So Christian's going to roll out to the right. He's going to throw the ball. He had a man open and threw it in the turf. And Mason Sellers there on 3rd and goal. So it's going to be 4th and goal. Permian is 12 of 20 on 4th down. You're trailing 3-0 to a team that you were supposed to handle fairly easily. So if you're Coach Ellison.
They're going to go for it, Barry. They're going to go for it here and see if they can pound it in. Now watch the play clock. They don't like what they see here. I wouldn't be surprised if Permian doesn't call a timeout.
It's going to be a full 2 yards needed. Ed Williams, the lone back now, so it looks like a passing set. Hands the ball off inside.
I think he's in. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So Ed Williams does get in from 2 yards out on a 4th and goal for Permian on the, 13, 14, 15, 17th play of the drive that covered 95 yards.
They thought they had him stopped, and look at him just use his powerful leg muscles, and he turned around, really just went into the end zone backwards or with his back to the end zone, and boy, just did a great job of working his way in, and we're an extra point away from Permian being up 7-3. Good job on the right side there.
So Carson Roberts is...
We got a flag
there. There's a flag. We'll check on that.
Dead ball foul. False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
So they're going to get to move back 5. Instead of snapping it from the 2 or 3, it'll be down to the 7 or 8, which means this will be a 25-yard extra point attempt. Kick it hard, Carson. That 5 yards won't matter.
Mason Sellers will set the ball down. We'll check the extra point, and it is good. So Carson Roberts coming into the ball game, 95%, has only missed 2 of them on the season. But Permian now with the extra point from Roberts, that will cap a 95-yard drive in 7 minutes. In 9 seconds and 17 plays, Williams' 2-yard run to cap it, get it into the end zone, and Permian for the first time tonight has taken a lead. At 9:08 to play before half, it is Permian 7 and Wolfforth 3.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Transglobal Productions, brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by E&E Service and Supply. Well, I gave you the specifics. 709, 17 plays, 95 yards. Pretty good.
Not bad, and a good job of putting plays together. Offensive line started, it kind of felt like to me they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage, and the Panther running backs just did what they had to do to get that ball down and get it into the end zone.
Williams 14 for 52 and a score. here in the early going, coming off a 239-yard effort last week. Wolworth is coming off a shellacking of 56-10 to the Broncos, and in that ball game, they had a kick return and a punt return, and just absolutely slobber knocked and dominated the Tigers in that one. Now Odessa High is up at Amarillo tonight. In the early going, it was 7-7, I think, between the Tesco. It's what?
14-7 Odessa High right now.
Oh, wow. Good deal.
Broncos win tonight, they can pretty much well stamp themselves into the playoffs. Oh, a little inside shovel pass, Barry. Good design. And, man, look at that. That's going to be a first down on that little shovel pass inside by the Frenship Tigers.
It's going to be a 12-yard gain. Permian qualified for the playoffs with their win last week against Midland, so now it's seeding time between now and next week. The game that's really going to matter, because Permian, Lee, and Tascosa have qualified, is next week with Odessa High playing against Midland High. And the winner of that ball game will be the Division I number 2 seed. They flipped the ball out to Cooper Scott, had 25 catches before tonight, 225 yards, 9 yards per catch, but this one didn't go +9. It went about -5 back to the 31-yard line.
That guy just kept spinning, looked like one of those old pinballs in those pinball machines when it's hitting the bumpers.
Yeah, and he may have, spin enough, you're going to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So the quarterback is Jake Sherrod getting his first start, the fourth quarterback who has played for Frenship this year. Going to dump the ball off to the right. Hokut's going to have it, and he's going to have a first down, so a well-designed, quickly thrown ball. That is Drew Hokut, 35 catches before tonight, the son of the Texas Tech athletic director Kirby Hokut. And he is going to be down to the 46-yard line for a lot.
Just a quick bubble tunnel screen out there, and they blocked it very well. Frenship did.
Yep, 23 yards.
Yep, for a first down.
Well, they have a man wide open running down the field, but over there to play center field was Stell, and Stell was actually closer to the ball by the time it hit a receiver or defender's hands, and he had the better shot at it than the receiver did. So it's going to be 2nd and 10.
He times his jump a little better there, Barry. He may have a pick right there.
That was Skylar Newsom. He is 6'4", 205. Had a team-leading 36 touchdowns coming in.
Here comes pressure, Barry. Watch.
And when they played Midland Lee, he had 2 huge receptions for TD. So that's the guy you got to watch. Well, guess who made the tackle there?
Well, I'm going to say it's a 1 and an 8, and his name is Matt Jones. Watch, nobody touched him. They tried to pull the backside guard or tackle from the far side of the field, and with the pressure coming, that's what I was talking about as the play was about to be snapped. Permian showed pressure, and I think everybody in white and gray or charcoal, whatever you want to call that color, just panicked, and Matt Jones knifed in for a nice 5-yard loss.
Now Jones is committed to Baylor already. 3rd and 15 now facing the offense of the Tigers. Going to throw the ball down the field. Has a man open. He's going to catch it. He's going to be down the field for a great catch and run. That's Cooper Scott, number 6, 26th catch on the season. And, man, he got behind the defense. A well-thrown ball by Sherrod. It's going to be 1st and 10 from inside the Permian 20.
Yeah, Stell there, just let him get behind him in the secondary up the far sideline, and that was a good throw by the quarterback there.
24 yards on that one. Now the quarterback's going to keep it. Sherrod's going to keep the ball. He's going to be tackled by Adams. But a good job of recognizing the defense and getting down inside the 15 for a gain of 2.
Design quarterback draw, Barry. Try to get the linemen and anybody that's rushing up front up the field, influence their block and get them out of the way, and then the quarterback just finds a lane. That's what he did there for about 3 yards.
Yeah, he got 3. I said 2, so it's 2nd and 7. Sherrod, like I said, the 3rd quarterback to play. Austin Phillips was the 1st. Jess Howell and Tanner Higgins have also played. Higgins very briefly, and then the freshman, a true freshman, Howell, playing until last week when he hurt his, I think, elbow against Odessa High. And so that brings us to the Jake Sherrod era. And it'll be a 3rd down and 7.
Stell played that pretty well. We have a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Frenship. 3rd and final of the half.
Yep, so that's all they've got for the half. 6:20 to play in the half. Going to be 3rd and 6 from the Permian 14. Panthers lead 7-3 with 6:20 to play before half.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have 2 different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it. But we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! In your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions and in part by Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring. Go see Paul.
Here's this little 10-man eye, 11-man eye. Now they're going to have to bump and line up, try to catch Permian off guard here.
Line to gain to the 7-yard line. Sherrod's looking to throw right over the middle, and a wide open receiver for the score. Nobody within 10 yards of him as they hit Evan Barboza. He's a defensive lineman who catches his first catch of the season, and it goes for, sub 14 yards and a touchdown.
Well, that's good design by Frenship. Give their offensive coaching staff credit for coming up with that, because on the shift, Permian brought a blitz and didn't have anybody to account for the young man that caught the ball, and now the extra point gives the Frenship Tigers a 10-7 lead.
And so now we have 6:15 to play before half, and Permian trails the Tigers. Back in a moment.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Barboza's first touchdown pass of the night. Wolforth 119 yards of total offense, Permian 111. That includes that 95-yard drive a moment ago. The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions and brought to you in part by Taco Villa, as well as Medical Center Hospital. 14-yard pass from Sherrod to Barboza, first of each for this season. 76-yard drive in 2 minutes and 48 seconds in 9 plays. And Permian last week seemed a little disinterested in that ball game with Midland High. And right now, because of the trickery going on the other side of the field that, as Kyle was saying in the break, was probably not on film, Permian's having a little bit of a struggle.
Well, and as I said, you talked about it, when you're 0-3 in district and not going anywhere, why not, try some things unorthodox and see if you can have some success, some trick plays. And now the Panther offense has got to do what they do, and that's reestablish the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defense has to do the same when it's their turn as well. So Williams will get the carry here. He's going to get 8 of the 10 needed out to the 36-yard line.
Good blocking off the right side again by that Panther offensive line, and that's Peterson and Reynolds and Gamboa up at front just doing the job, and Ed running to daylight for almost 9 yards, I should say.
Yep, so second down here. Ed Williams again, who I expected to get about 32 yards, 32 carries tonight. How many carries is that, Larry?
Well, that one right there, 16, so you're halfway there already.
Yep, he averages coming into the ball game. And I don't know about the average, but his high was 31 against Franklin. He had a 30-carry effort against South Lake Carroll. Had a 25-carry effort last week. So he may be knocking on the 32 or so. I thought that both Hammond and Harrell would get about 4 apiece. Well, a nice well-thrown ball by Christian Rodriguez to hit Hammond. Hammond only had 1 catch last week.
See,
actually, he did pretty good last week. He was no, he didn't. Had 1 catch for 2 yards.
You saw him release to the outside from the slot position and got in behind the linebacker in front of the safety. And hey, give Christian Rodriguez some kudos for laying that ball right in there.
Yep, 18 yards on the catch and run. Now back to the conventional thing, and that is 27 running the ball. That was a well-thrown ball by Christian.
It really was, and he read the defense perfectly, put the ball right where it had to be, and executed that pass play very well. We're talking about the one before that run you just saw. It got about 2.5, really 2 yards there on first down.
Yep, so 2nd and 8. Need to line to gain is going to be about the 24-yard line of Frenship. Permian trailing in this ball game. We'll hand the ball off to Ed Williams, who will get to the 30. And it's going to be about 6 yards needed on 3rd down.
Frenship stacking the line of scrimmage, Barry. They're not going to let, on that play anyway, their formation dictated defensively that Williams was not going to get off the tackle position either way, and handed the ball to him on the play, and they're looking at 3rd and about 6. I'm talking about Permian.
Actually, a little more than 6 because they marked the ball short of the 30. So they're going to pitch the ball back. I thought they were going to give it to Harrell. No, it's going to be Christian getting the ball all the way down to the 17-yard line. That was a good read to pick up 13.
This is a follow, Barry. Just watch. He rode the ball into Ed Williams' belly and then just got into the next gap out to the left of the formation. He just followed Ed, so to speak, through that gap, worked out to the left, and did a nice job of getting the ball down to the 17-yard line of Frenship.
Now Brady Wolf finally able to catch up with him. Hammond again on the run. I thought he would see about 5 to 6 efforts. Well, he takes this one in from 17 yards out, and Permian is taking the lead one more time.
Just a toss play with Hammond coming off the slot in motion. And, boy, Frenship just did not play that running alley or lane very well at all, I should say. And Hammond, as you saw, once it got into the open field, just worked his way into the end zone for the 2nd Panther touchdown of the evening.
Hammond, if you can believe it, that is only his 3rd rushing score of the season. I'll get back to that point in a moment. So Permian, after the Carson Roberts extra point, on the heels of the 17-yard run by Justin Hammond, have taken the lead with 3:21 to play before half. It is Permian 14 and the Tigers 10.
Every day's a heavenly Sunday at Texas Burger.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fanville, and brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and Complex Community Federal Credit Union. The drive, 72 yards, a little under 3 minutes to go 7 plays. Hammond from 17. Do you realize that Hammond's only scored twice this year, and both of those were against Broward? That night he was 4 of 84 for 84 and 2 TDs, 1 of 16, 1 for 13. So that 17-yard touchdown was his longest touchdown run of the season. But the first time in 5 weeks that Justin Hammond has got into the end zone via the run. Which just kind of surprised me.
Which would tell you, Barry, he's probably ready to break out and have a couple of big ball games carrying the football. You would think. He had a nice catch on the drive there.
Wolforth, by the way, Odessa's about 100,000 people. Wolford's only 3,670. They're named after an early settler, George Wolforth, back around 1916. I'll tell you where they came up with the Wolforth Frenship name in just a moment. So the funky I now gets spread out. Permian needs to line up and see who's where.
Look at this. They're going to try to do a little jailback. Permian's going to call timeout because this is a new formation. I guarantee you they haven't seen.
So 3:14 to play before half. Timeout taken by Permian. They lead 14-10. Back in a moment.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment has kept you rolling since 1944. With 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management, Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich. And we offer more than just tires, be it brakes or shocks. Your vehicle's best friend is Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment. With 24-hour road service, you can count on us for all your tire and automotive needs. Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment, with the largest fleet of service trucks in West Texas.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions, brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance agent Mike Podzemny and by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. So Sherrod's going to keep the ball here. Going to get down to the 32-yard line.
Matt Jones.
Good gain on first down before Matt sits him down.
Yep, Matt did a good job of squeezing that down from his defensive end position. If he doesn't do that, the quarterback probably still runs for another 10 yards.
Well, he did. So 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain by the sophomore quarterback. Here comes a lot of pressure. Looking down the field, has a man open. Makes the catch. That is Drew Hokut. What's going on here on the defensive end of it?
That's a busted coverage, Barry, I believe, by either one of the safeties just running a little post pattern, and somebody went the wrong way in the secondary there because nobody had the middle of the field coming on a post pattern. Here's a reverse pass.
That was 28 yards on that catch and run, and it's going to be picked off by Christian Schauner. Schauner grabbed that thing out of the air, and he's going to return it out to the 35-yard line. Christian's 2nd interception of the season, and the turnover battle is now evened up at 1.
Watch this, Barry. If this quarterback throws it back to the middle of the field here, there's a guy running wide open. Christian's just playing center field and reading the quarterback's eyes and broke when the ball was thrown, and you could see that from up here. Christian read it very well and broke on the ball, as I said, got up the field once he did catch it to the Panther 35. Now let's see if we get a little tempo out of Permian with 2:23 and 2 timeouts left.
We'll check with Larry here in a moment. Permian averages 290 yards rushing per game, 6.6 per carry. Add in about 148 passing. That is 438.5 and a little over 40 points a game. And we expect to see a whole lot of running tonight. That's what we've seen so far. A couple of passes thrown in. This is a 5-yard gain on first down, so Permian with a 14-10 lead. Now we'll start on second down, 2nd and 5, and Caden Harrell still going.
Still rumbling and bumbling, Barry.
Yeah, like the Energizer Bunny all the way down to the 42-yard line.
Boy, watch the quick pitch to the left side, get it blocked right there. They thought they had him bottled up, and give Caden kudos for keeping his balance, protecting the football, keeping his legs going, and getting all the way up to the Frenship 43-yard line.
Well, his longest run of the year was 19 before tonight. That was 18. Had a 23-yarder earlier. Hammond now carrying the ball again, and Hammond down to the 25-yard line for a gain of 17.
And here, Barry, is what I was talking about. You and I were talking about in one of the breaks when we went to a timeout, is right now Permian is pitching the ball out wide. They've got all those guys lined up inside to try to stop the inside running game, and Permian's getting the corner now. Friendship's going to have to make that adjustment. When they do, watch Ed Williams bust one.
Yeah, 61 yards now for Hammond unofficially.
How about right now?
And that's the most that he has run the ball, the most he has gotten on the ground since that Broward game. 27 after Broward, then 2, then 50, then 51, now over 60. And, of course, we expected coming in that Harrell and Hammond would be getting the bulk of the work with Williams, and that's what we're seeing. And we weren't sure about Powell. Now, that was a 6-yard gain on first down by Williams. 2nd and 4.
Watch Hammond come this way. Going to give it to Ed right up the middle. Going to get the first down. Clock will stop to reset the change with chains, I should say, with 1 minute and 3 seconds left. Clock is running now. Permian still has their 2 timeouts, but I don't believe they need to be in overly too big a hurry. Get a play called, get up there, and get it run. If you don't get something here now, maybe you use one of your timeouts.
1st and 10 from the 14. Going to throw it. Has a man open, and Harrell is there. Did he make the catch? Yes! Caden Harrell into the end zone for the 2nd consecutive game, this time from 14 yards out.
Little switch route, Barry. You saw Caden Harrell lined up in the slot. The outside receiver here for Permian, number 6, ran just a little inside release up the seam, and then you saw Harrell work outside. That's why we call it a switch route. And Christian put the ball right where only Caden could catch it. Good catch, good pass, and another Panther touchdown.
Well, Harrell had not scored before last week. Now 2 consecutive games. That is Christian's 2nd passing TD of the season. He had his first last week as well. So now with 43 seconds to play before half, a bit more of a cushion as Permian has jumped on top of the Tigers by 21-10.
65 total yards.
Rexco! The Texas oil boom has returned, and Rexco Poly Fittings is your Lone Star choice in polyethylene, steel, and brass needs with a wide variety to choose from. Locally owned and operated in the Permian Basin since 1982, Rexco's experienced staff will help you get the right fittings and valves to help you get the job done. Go to RexcoPoly.com. Rexco, your poly supply company located in Midland and Odessa.
Rexco!
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions, brought in part by Petroplex SWD Systems and Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment. 14-yard pass from Christian Rodriguez to Caden Harrell. That capped a 65-yard drive in 1:40. 6 plays. Permian looking better on offense. Now the defense needs to tune it up. The return's going to be out to the 27-yard line, and we have about 38 seconds to play before half.
Good tackle by Adiemi on the Permian kickoff special teams coverage there to get the young man out of bounds. Now, Frenship has no timeouts with 38 seconds left. Unless they hit a big pass play here and get up and kill the ball, I think they're just going to maybe run a few plays here and get on inside to the half.
Let me get this in. The Wolford School District consolidated with 3 other rural districts back in 1935. They applied to become the Friendship ISD, spelled like friend, and were denied because Houston already had a school district applying for that name, and so they retooled it and shortened it to FRENSHIP, and so it has been the Friendship Independent School District since 1935. Bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that. I do remember all those years going up to the north through Lubbock, seeing the little community of Frenship. But there's a wounded duck. Boy, Adiemi almost got that.
Boy, did he climb the ladder.
He really did, and
almost pitched it back to his linebacker.
That looked like one of those ducks had been shot by somebody out hunting. Just look,
Robertson
it just
family.
came out of his hand. Yeah, the Robertson family. And boy, look at Adiemi get up on our Trans Global Productions instant replay, swatting that ball away, and forcing a 3rd and 5 for the Tigers with 26 seconds left in the half.
No, we'll take a shot at another one if we can get a pick here. So Sherrod's going to quickly try to throw the ball out. He dumps it over the middle. And just almost dumped it into the Permian breadbasket. Is there to play defensively for the Panthers was Andy Notley. Notley was going to come up with his first pick of the year.
Yeah,
well, they're going to punt the ball away with 21 seconds. If we can get any kind of return, Kyle, do you think we'll give any shot at it?
It depends if they get a return or not, Barry. Watch the Panther defense here or special teams on their punt return. They're going to make sure that Frenship does punt this football. And if Stell I believe it's Stell back there.
Back there, yeah.
If he can get anything out of it yardage-wise, you might say this is a wounded duck going to the right again. There's the terminology of the first half, wounded duck again.
Case Jones with a wobbly kick. And it's going to be out of bounds, it looks like, at the 38. So you have 14 seconds. You have, 2 timeouts. Do you try anything?
I don't think so. I think you go into half and
Pretty happy.
Content with an 11-point lead. I'd be happy with it. Give the ball to 27. He might bust it. He might bust it all the way. You never know. He's certainly capable of it. We've seen it.
Yeah, with 14 seconds, I'd at least give him a shot. I mean, look what happened last week against Midland. Boom, boom. Well, Christian's going to keep it. Christian's going to get up to the 43-yard line, and that may very well do it. Let's check and see. Yep, that will be the end of the first half. So Permian trailed 3-0. On a 20-yard field goal, 22-yard field goal by Jones. Williams put them up 7-3 on a 2-yard run, and then Barboza from Sherrod came back and put Frenship back on top 10-7 before a 17-yard run by Hammond and a 14-yard pass from Rodriguez to Harrell put Permian a little bit more in the comfort zone. And at the end of one half, it is now Permian 21, Tigers 10. And the halftime show coming up. Don't miss it. And then after that, we'll have what should be a very exciting second half.
For great flooring values and real customer service, forget the frustration of the big box stores. Paul Evans trained flooring professionals will save you time, money, and hassle on your next flooring project. Whether do-it-yourself or professionally installed, Paul Evans offers great values on carpet, tile, hardwood, and waterproof flooring. Paul Evans Flooring, Odessa and Midland. For over 30 years,
you just can't beat a Paul Evans deal.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Well, the sign said Permian Pride, and here comes the Panthers as we have wrapped up a very entertaining halftime show. Now, what happened in the marching contest last weekend?
Okay, so the area region marching contest was here last Saturday. 14 bands competed in the prelims. They took 7 to the finals. Permian made the finals and tied for second with Montwood from El Paso. And on some type of tiebreaker, Montwood and El Paso Pebble Hills ended up going to the state marching band contest, which will start this Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. The prelims are one day, the finals are the next day. Permian missed it by points, and their show was just absolutely incredible. We were out here all day and just enjoyed watching the kids. They were great.
We want to recognize the flute soloist, Justice Dominguez. She's done a fabulous job in playing that solo all season long, playing the flute, and great job, young lady. Great job. Hope you keep up your music career. As we kick off the second half, Kyle's going to very quickly look at the stats for both teams.
And start with a question, Barry. When's the last time in a football game, high school, college, or pro, that you had the starting quarterback also lead the team in receiving yards?
Yeah, I had that one big play there in the first half. In fact, that was the first catch by a quarterback for Frenship this season, and it went for how far?
51. Well, he has 2 receptions for 51 yards, and
wow.
He's also 8 of 17 for 141. Permian's dominated the game statistically as well. I'll give you a few numbers after Barry calls the kickoff return here.
Yeah, 261 yards for Permian, 157 for Wolforth, and they will start on offense. And go ahead.
Well, Permian first half, 11 first downs to 6 for Frenship. No surprise who's leading the Panthers in rushing. Ed Williams, 20 carries, 86 yards. Justin Hammond, 6 for 61. Caden Harrell, 3 for 46. Permian, 251 total yards offense to 157 for Frenship. And really it's been dominated, other than the one drive, by Permian throughout the first half.
Well, Jake Sherrod got the start at quarterback after the injury to the freshman Howell last week. Has his man open, and he's going to make the catch before Adeyemi will make the tackle at the 40-yard line. That is Skylar Newsom, and that is a little bit of a height difference, as Newsom is 6'4", Adeyemi is about 5'8", and it's going to move the chains a good 18 yards out to the 41-yard line.
One-on-one coverage down here with Adeyemi, and just ran the fade or the go route, and good throw, good catch, and a good first down for the Tigers.
And I'm corrected, 37 yards on the catch and run out to the Permian 41 as they trail in this one, 21-10, as we have begun the second half of play. Permian had no turnovers by the defense the first 2 district games. Had 4.
Dead ball foul. Ball start. Offense number 50, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They had 4 interceptions and a fumble recovery last week. They have the 1 turnover tonight on Shauner's interception. Anything else you want to bring up on the stats?
Well, really it's just been dominated by I thought the interesting one here was total rushing yards by Frenship in the first half, 16.
Yep, that was it. Oh, man, it got hit in the backfield, and that little change direction allowed Bayouth to come up with it. As Permian came up, I'm not sure who knocked it up in the air. That was Jones.
Yeah.
And Bayouth will come up with the reception and the yardage.
Well, this is a important drive for Frenship. If you're looking at it from their standpoint, start the third quarter here, a touchdown puts them right back into the ball game here.
Bayouth had 16 catches before tonight. Shauner's going to move him out of the way. 18 catches before tonight. That's his first one, I believe, of the evening. That's going to be a loss in yardage back to the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 as they will need to get to the Permian 31. That's the line to gain for a first.
This will be 2-down territory here for Frenship. They don't make it. I expect them to go for it.
He just threw the thing away because Here come a lot of pressure from Keyshawn Wright. He took one look at that junior and said, I think I'll throw the ball away. I'm not going to take my chances.
Yeah, Jake Sheridan in the first half, Barry, 8 of 17, did have a good first half throwing the ball, 141 yards. They had 157, as I said, total in the first half, so 141 of that came through the airways, and Panther defense hasn't given up anything rushing the football at all.
Nope, they are 4 of 16 before tonight on fourth down. The opponent is, so 25% conversion rate on fourth by the opponent. Sherrod's going to have to call timeout.
Timeout, Frenship.
And very quickly, they are going to use their first timeout of the half. So we've just begun the second half. Permian with a 21-10 lead. This is the opening drive of the second half, and it remains 21-10 with 10:24 to play in the third.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have two different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it, but we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! In your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Petroplex SWD Systems is honored to sponsor the Game of the Week. As football fans, we're looking forward to a great season. Just as us West Texans take pride in the Falcons, so does Petroplex SWD Systems take pride in being a premier saltwater disposal service provider. With locations spanning from Glasscock to northern Andrews County, we are strategically positioned to handle all of your saltwater disposal needs. We understand that SWD facility downtime affects your bottom line. Therefore, we make proactive maintenance a priority and are prepared to quickly address any facility issues. If you are looking for a saltwater disposal solution for current or future project development, give us a call. We're always looking to expand and are looking forward to a bright and prosperous future with UTPB and the community. On behalf of everyone at Petroplex SWD Systems, go Falcons. Enjoy the game.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fanville. Did you know that?
I did.
Along with the Odessa and Permian Booster Clubs and Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring. Go see Paul. Fourth down.
See if they throw the bubble screen out here, Barry. They've only got 2 defenders. Permian does have a safety over the top of that, but as you can see on the screen there in the formation, but they're going to change the play on the sideline over there.
Yeah, 4th and 5. They've got to get to the Permian 31. This is fourth down. By Youth, it's going to be who they're going to throw the ball to, and he's on the ground with the ball, so it doesn't matter because he could not get up and run in high school. Once your knee hits, you down. And that's down to the 39 for a loss of 3. Permian defensively has turned the ball over on down, so we turn the ball back over to the offense.
And that was well read by the Panther defense. Notley, the safety over here, I believe that was Stell coming up. It wasn't Stell. It was the other one, Keaton Armstrong. But, boy, the corner down here played it really well, too. They weren't going anywhere on that little screen out here.
All right, we had 20 doses of Ed Williams in the first half. His sophomore year, he had 34, I think it was, against Midland High. That is his career high. Yep, 34 for 140 and 3 touchdowns his sophomore year against Midland. So we think we'll see at least 14 carries of his here in the second half. His first run is going to get a couple, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
I think you're going to see a healthy dose of the Panther running game in the second half, Barry.
How many passes did they throw in the first?
That it was 2 of 4 for 32.
Yep, and they managed to get a touchdown pass out of it. Rodriguez is going to keep it, going to bring up a 3rd down.
Good read, pulled the ball out of Ed's belly on the dive option read. Decided to pull the ball, get right back outside, get about 4 there.
Yep, 3rd and 4. They're going to need to get out to the 46-yard line for a first. Trying to find who has the ball, and they don't think they're going to get it.
And they pitched the ball to Hammond up at the top, Barry. And
was it Hammond?
It was Hammond.
No, you're right. Yeah.
It was Hammond, and they just did a good job. Frenship did of stringing that out and forcing a 3-and-out to start the second half for the Panther offense, and they're going to have to punt the football away, see if they can get them down here inside the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, 4th and 2 is what they would need for a first, so they're going to bring out Roberts to punt the ball away. How many punts did he have in the first half? One? Yeah, had one kick. So this is only his second punt of the night. In fact, coming into the ball game, I don't know if this shocks you or not, Permian's opponents had kicked the ball 35 times. How many times do you think Carson's kicked it?
I don't think he's probably kicked it more than 20.
Try 14.
Well, it was in the ballpark.
Yeah, 14. So an average of 2 punts a game before tonight. Well, something like that. Since this is the 9th game of the year, we'll start from the 20. Or actually, Wolforth will start from the 20. 8.5 is what we are looking at. 8:37 to play in the third quarter. Permian has the 21-10 lead.
And let's see what the Frenship Tiger offense dials up here on their second drive of the second half of our ball game.
Now let's see if Permian can lock them down. They have not been able to run the ball. The only thing they've been able to gain yardage at is throwing the ball. Bayouth, sophomore running back, will get a couple of yards. Out to the 22. Be 2nd and 8.
Coming off the bottom there, I believe that's 99, Keyshawn Wright.
That's what he's there for.
Yep, coming off the bottom of the pile to stop the run there. He got about 2.5, maybe 3 off that first down run.
Good shot there from the camera of Justin Oakes in the north end zone. So 2nd down and 8. Sherrod's going to look out here.
Oh.
Going to be knocked down, I think, by, was that Martinez that got his hand up?
Looked like it. Martinez coming from his outside linebacker position. Timed his jump really well. Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. You can see it. And now I think we've got the wrong fella.
No, it's that Baylor commit.
That Baylor commit, Matt Jones, who I think is definitely in the running for Defensive Player of the Year district-wise, I think.
I agree with you. So 3rd and 8. Line to gain's going to be the 30-yard line. Let's see if Permian can turn them back, force a punt, and get good field position. So Jake Sherrod getting his first start of the season. Here comes a lot of pressure. The ball is on the ground. They got it back, I think. Coming in there off the edge was Cameron Martinez. Knocked the ball out. They came up with it inside the 20, but, man, what a play by Cameron.
Watch Teo Banks also, Barry, for number 40. There's a little bit of Martinez, you're right. Teo Banks was there, number 40. There's Matt Jones again. Boy, a whole host of Panthers in to force the pressure and force these Tigers to have to punt one more time.
Caleb Eugenus is who came up with a fumble recovery, the right tackle. Permian's going to call for a fair catch. Stell will have it there at the 48, so they have gained yardage of 12 yards in that exchange. They started the last drive at their 36. They'll start this one at the 48.
Well, they flipped the field, Barry, field position-wise a little bit. Of course, they had a short field. I'm talking about the Panthers on that after they stopped Frenship on that 4th down attempt, but had to punt, and now, look, they've even got better field position on their own 48-yard line.
Yep, gain 12, as I said, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from near midfield. Christian Rodriguez got the start tonight to give Peyton Powell a little bit of a rest with his legs. They're going to pitch the ball back to number 27, Ed Williams, who only will get a couple. They're going to get him at the 50, got tripped up and turned around and set on his backside.
Hey, Barry, can I throw a name at our home folks? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to recognize the last one. You know who made the tackle there? Number 26, Chris Kaiser. Does that ring a bell with our home folks? Yes, that would be Kurt Kaiser's son.
Yep, Kurt Kaiser, long anchor, sports anchor at CBS 7. So Christian's going to keep the ball here and going to bring up a 3rd and short, as he will get the ball down inside the 45 to the 44.
And Kurt has been really, if you've been keeping up with him, some of us that have been keeping up with him in Facebook, he's had a little battle with kidney cancer and has
didn't know that,
done very well. And I believe has been given a clean bill of health after doing some surgery down in Houston.
So it's going to be 2 yards needed. Ed's not going to get it. It's going to be a 4th down, and Permian will probably go for it. Coming into the game, 12 of 20 on 4th down. This will be 4th and a good,
personal foul. face mask. Defense number 26. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
You know, you talk good about his dad, and he goes and commits a 15-yard penalty.
Thanks a lot, Chris. But, yeah,
So
that's a
they
bad
were-
mistake.
Yeah, they were going to be short of what they needed for a first down, but the face mask penalty will move the ball down to the Tiger 28-yard line, and Permian will have the first down from that point. Ed Williams with a rushing touchdown, Hammond with a rushing touchdown, Harrell with a receiving TD. Those are the three scores tonight for Permian's offense. Going to throw the ball here. Looking down the field, has him wide open. Did he catch it? He caught it. Mason Sellers, 11th catch of the season. Oh, man, a yard short. Mason has 2 receptions for TDs.
Offsides on the defense. Penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Almost got his third, but this one's a 27-yard dive and run and dive to the 1-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, folks, y'all should have made the play from your couch or easy chair there from your living room. Went right into the north end zone where Justin Oakes showed you how pretty a catch that was.
And it was his second longest reception of the season. And they're going to hand the ball off to Ed Williams, who will score for the second time. No.
I'm going to mark him short about the foot
No.
line.
Well, they're going to be back up. I was writing down all that stuff with what happened on the receiving and just assumed that Ed was
Play is second down.
that he was into the end zone. So let's see if Christian just keeps it and does a quarterback run right up the gut for the touchdown. Nope, going to pitch it back to Ed. And Ed's going to be short of the touchdown again.
And he went wide that time, got penetration off the right side of the Panther offensive line. And actually, I think they're going to lose almost a full yard here. Going to be 3rd and 1 from the Frenship 1.
Okay, so now what?
Give the ball to 27.
Okay, just right up the gut?
Right up the gut.
Did they bring anybody in? Did they bring any heavy artillery with them?
They do. Let's see. Nope, they sure have not.
It's just a basic set. Harrell
They do
wide.
have a tight end over here, Barry.
Yeah, Harrell is on the wing to the right. And they had Hammond on the wing to the left, and Ed Williams is going to be short again.
I think Christian tried to follow him into the hole there, and I'm not sure who ended up with the football, but they are stopped at the 1-yard line, and Permian's going to talk about this 4th and 1 from the Tiger 1-yard line.
All right. So the Panthers do call their first time of the half, time out of the half. 4:16 to play in the third. When we come back, 4th and goal from the 1, Permian 21, Tigers 10.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions, brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and Taco Villa. What do you think?
Ed Williams up the middle again. There it is. He got it.
Yep. Yep, he did. So Ed Williams came into the ball game with a 13-yard touchdown. Mark has scored twice tonight. Permian now 27-10. Carson Roberts on the field to try to add the 28th point. That was a drive that started in great field position. Would have been upsetting to not get the result into the end zone as they started near midfield. They go 52 yards in a little over 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Carson Roberts on to try the extra point. There's a good shot of it from Robert Carrillo's south end zone camera. And with 4:10 to play in the third, Permian now 28-10 over the Tigers.
Enjoy a Texas Burger chicken strip dinner today.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Trans Global Productions in association with Hokenthorpe CPAs and Diamond Pump and Transport. 52-yard drive, 7 plays, 3 minutes 14 seconds. Ed Williams, 1-yard run on. Well, they worked for that one. 4th and 1, and he scores barely into the end zone and lead 28-10.
And let me just talk about from a Frenship coach standpoint. You keep that little clip and you use that as a motivator for your offseason. Hey, we stopped Permian on 4 downs inside the 1 till 4th down, I should say.
Well, they're going to return this one from a yard deep in the end zone. They get out to the 20-yard line, short of the 20 actually. Pulled his flag there at the 18. That was Cooper Scott. And so with 4:09 to play in the third, it'll be Permian trotting back out on defense. Now, what are you looking for from the defense here?
Well, I'm looking for them to play just some base defense here, maybe mix in some type of stunt or some kind of blitz if you think there's going to be a passing situation. But I think Permian's going to play very sound, fundamental technique defense-wise. Make this quarterback have to put some plays together. Make them eat clock here, Barry, even offensively, and take some time off that clock. Put this one in their back pocket.
They're going to run out Bayluth to the right. Well, they throw the ball to him. That's who I think they're going to try to get the ball to, and that was an ugly throw. Banks was over there defensively to try to lock up Bayluth, and it's going to be a second down. That wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't, and I think that the coaching point there for Frenship and their coaching staff's going to be, hey, when you're in that situation, just go run and get what you can, live to play on second down.
T.O. Banks defensively for Permian. So Sherrod, who got the start tonight after coming in to play in the second half against Odessa High last week, the 4th quarterback that's played for Frenship this year. Austin Phillips started the year, got hurt in the 3rd game. The first game of the year, he threw for 600.
Did he fumble?
And 9 yards. Looks like number 8 up. They're going to say he was down. The fumble recovery was made by Jones, but they're saying instead, Dow Watson says he was down at that point, and it will bring a 3rd and 11. That's what Frenship needs.
His knees might have been on the ground there, Barry. I'm going to go with Dowell on that. Of course, if you're a Permian fan, you've been around here for a long time, the name Dowell Watson is probably
the whole Watson
vividly
family.
etched in the whole Watson family. You're right. Nolan played tight end. His brother, I think 84, 85, 86, somewhere around there right after Dowell did. Dowell was a standout fullback on the 84 state championship team at Permian.
Didn't he also play linebacker?
He played linebacker, middle linebacker.
Timeout, Frenship. Second charge time of the half.
As well.
There he is, and with 3:08 to play in the third, they have used another timeout across the way. Permian 28, Tigers 10, and a 3rd and 11 coming up.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
For great flooring values and real customer service, forget the frustration of the big box stores. Paul Evans trained flooring professionals will save you time, money, and hassle on your next flooring project. Whether do-it-yourself or professionally installed, Paul Evans offers great values on carpet, tile, hardwood, and waterproof flooring. Paul Evans Flooring, Odessa and Midland. For over 30 years,
You just can't beat a Paul Evans deal.
Texas Burger's all beef chili cheese dog. Get one today.
The Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Transglobal Productions in association with State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Podzemny and Texas Burger. 3rd and 11. So I'm looking. I think that Sherrod's going to look for Newsom. He's number 22. That's been their go-to guy all year. Boy, he had those 2 long-distance runs with the catch against Lee. In that ball game, he was 5 for 175 and 2 scores. So look and see if 22, nope, they're going to dump it off instead to Hokut. Hokut's still on his feet, and he will be short of the first as they will push him out somewhere around the 25. He needed to get out to the 29. And so that means that Cage Jones will have to come in and kick. Now, Jones hadn't kicked but a couple of times. What, 3? Yeah, three punts leading up to this one. So I'm thinking Permian should come away with some good field position if they would just please kick it in such a way that Chase Stell can return it.
Or at least make a good fair catch. They ought to get it right around their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, there's a good shot from Justin's camera.
Nice punt.
Yep.
Wow, that thing turned over beautifully. And look at the roll all the way down to the Panther 3-yard line. That's a great punt. How many, Larry?
No, it's 26 plus 47. What's that? That's 60, 73?
63, 73?
73.
73.
Well, as somebody, one wise man once said, Holy Macarena.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's in my record book as far as the longest.
73 yards. Wow. Boy, you talk about flipping the field.
Yeah, we've got the longest punt in Permian history was an 81-yarder back in 96, but I don't have anything by the opponent. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for Permian from the 3-yard line. Now they've got a 95-yard drive already tonight, so let's try 97.
And you can bet right now, I think we're going to see a healthy dose of Ed Williams. They're not going to do anything silly here backed up on their own goal line. They're just going to try to work it out. Look how many guys are inside the box there for Frenship.
I'm sure they told him to be ready for a heavy dose. That was his 27th run of the night. There is a flag on the play, so we'll have to see what happened. Hammond's going to be out within a yard of what they need.
I'm going to call this an illegal block, Barry. Some type of chop, something like that. Dow Watson again will give us the call. You can see him on our screen there.
Offsides.
Oh,
Defense number 27.
I'm wrong.
5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
There's a shocker. I'm wrong.
Yeah, so duh. And so we're going to take the penalty because that allows us to replay the down. So now it's going to be 2nd and 2 after, well, Dow's not going to walk it off. It's going to be one of the other fellas. They need to get to the 13, so it is going to be a 2nd and 2 from this point. Christian Rodriguez, what are his numbers? He has gone the whole way tonight at quarterback.
Christian 3 of 5 for 59 yards, according to Larry.
What about running? What about running the ball?
What about running? 6 carries, 36 yards, 6 yards an average. That's not bad.
Yeah, Ed had 26 carries in the first half. How many? Is that his 3rd or 4th of the half? Is that up to 30 or something?
Larry getting it for us there.
So 29 carries for Ed Williams already. That was a first down run out to the 14-yard line.
Clock running here with 1:23 and counting here in the third quarter.
I thought he would have about 32 tonight. He's going to be pretty close to that. Maybe a little more than that. They're going to pitch the ball back to...
is that Sellers or
Nope.
is that Ramage?
Nope.
Either one? Nope.
Either one. Try another name. That
17,
was,
Adam Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez, 32 yards rushing before tonight. Does have a score, averages about 5.3. Well, he got plenty that time out to the 31-yard line, so that's a 17-yard run.
And giving kudos, Barry. The pitch was a little bit behind him, and give him credit for looking it in and getting it put away before he got around the corner over there.
His longest rush of the year at a 14-yarder earlier in the year. So that's his season high. Rodriguez is going to keep it. They're going to get out to the 36-yard line. So they need to get to the 41 for a first. So that's 5 yards on first down, 2nd and 5. Well, I think Christian's done a great job of running this offense.
You know, other than the first drive, you could tell he had a little bit of the jitters. Second drive maybe as well, but he settled in, and I think you're right. He's done a really efficient job of making good decisions and running the offense.
Yeah, he's a senior. Harrell on the last play of the third quarter, still going. Well, I like to watch him run. He just runs like a
he doesn't stop.
He runs like a bull in a china closet. Well, I said the last play of the half, of the quarter, it's not going to be because there's still 8 seconds. But he gets down to the 47-yard line of the opponent, so that's going to be a 17-yard run in the first half. He had along a 23, but he also had a 16-yard run. So every time they called his number, boy, he has delivered.
And boy, he's not going to worry about. He's going to lower the boom on you when he gets a chance there. Oh, Christian that time just ate the ball because there wasn't anything there. That's a good read by him.
Yeah, he doinked it off of his face mask a couple of times last week. None of that nonsense tonight. I'm about to get choked up. So that ends the third quarter. I need a drink of water. With the Panthers 28-10. Back with the fourth quarter of play in just a moment.
Rexco! The Texas oil boom has returned, and Rexco Poly Fittings is your Lone Star choice in polyethylene, steel, and brass needs with a wide variety to choose from. Locally owned and operated in the Permian Basin since 1982, Rexco's experienced staff will help you get the right fittings and valves to help you get the job done. Go to RexcoPoly.com. Rexco, your poly supply company located in Midland and Odessa.
Rexco!
Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fanville, brought to you in part by Petroplex SWD Systems, your saltwater disposal specialists. Also Hokenthorpe CPAs and Odessa Regional Medical Center. So it's a 2nd and 10 after that run by Rodriguez. Got Zilch. Going to throw the ball here. Does have a man open.
Wow, like about wide open.
Yeah, he's going to be all the way down to the, boy, what a way to tuck that ball in, all the way down to the 5-yard line after they make the catch and run to Mason Sellers.
And watch here, Rodriguez could have thrown it in the flat, but he also saw Sellers coming across on the drag. And boy, you talk about wide open field. That little design bootleg had Flo going to the left and had the Frenship defense going that way. That's how Sellers got wide open. And got the ball all the way down to the Tiger 5-yard line. Permian going for the kill.
43 yards, the longest for Sellers this season. Now they're going to keep the ball. No, he's going to hand the ball off.
And he's in the end zone, Barry. That's Ed Williams on the dive to the right.
Ed, for his 3rd rushing TD of the night, will come from 5 yards away. I got lost in the shuffle somewhere. Didn't realize he had the ball. And he does get into the end zone, as you see from that replay. 11-17 to play in this one. Waiting on the Roberts extra point to make it 35-10.
Well, that's just efficient work by the Panther offense there. And I think you can kind of see a little bit of the steam going out of the sails of the Frenship Tigers. They've come in here very gamely, but Permian taking care of business as I thought they would do.
Well, they've had a 95-yard drive for a score tonight. Now this one goes 97 with Williams capping it off from 5 yards out. 11-17 to play in the ball game. Panthers 35-10.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have 2 different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it, but we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State! Yes! In your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Nice.
Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Trans Global Productions, brought to you in part by Odessa College and Medical Center Hospital. Ed Williams tonight, 30 for 104. Boy, it's a hard-fought 104 and 3 touchdowns. At last drive, 97 yards, 8 plays, 313. For Williams capped it off with a run, and that followed a tremendous punt by Cage Jones that carried from his 24 down to the Permian 3, and then the offense took over. Now, you don't think we're going to see any more of Ed tonight is what you're thinking, right?
I don't think so. I'd be surprised if Ed gets on the field again with a 25-point lead and just under a minute, not quite a minute and a half. It's 11-12 on the clock there. I would be really surprised if we saw Ed Williams on the field again. I'd be surprised if we saw Justin Hammond and maybe Cade Harrell on the field again.
I agree.
Offensively, get some of those second-teamers in there.
Yep, and as a father of a former player, you like to see your kids on the field.
Well, I think your second and third team guys have, they've put the off-season work in as well. They've done the time. Most of them are on scouting teams and things like that. And when you get up like this, you reward those guys for putting their work in too as well. And boy, I tell you what, is that Tanner Adams? Yes,
yep.
It is. Tanner Adams right in the middle.
On Bayouth.
Just going to say, you're not going anywhere on that little counter tray type play right there.
What have they run for in the game so far?
Right now, of course, the first half.
Yeah, well, he's looking at that. It's second down. In the first half, they had run for 16 yards. Now, quarterback Sherrod looking down the field. Has nobody, absolutely nobody. His closest guy was Newsom, but he overshot Newsom by a good 8 yards.
How about up to this point, according to Larry's statistical pad over here, right now, Frenship has 13 yards rushing.
Well, that would be the second best night The best was against Broward. They gave up a negative 50 yards rushing, and this one would be the second best effort behind that one. So now the quarterback again. Sherrod's going to look across the way. Here comes some pressure. Had a man open, just could not connect with him. He was wide open, and he threw the ball way too wide for him, and Hokut just gets up with this disgusted look on his face. 35 catches coming in, and that one should have gone for a first down.
Well, and you bet that that'll also be a teaching point there, because you're right. He was wide open in the middle of the field. Stell had slipped, looked like on the coverage there, and if he'd have connected, they might have been in the end zone.
All right, so Jones is going to kick it here, and it's going to be a fair catch caught at the 30-yard line by Stell. So with 10:30 to play in the ball game, let's see who trots out on offense. We figure that Christian Rodriguez will remain quarterback all the way through the ball game, but it may be a case now of they're going to go to the next man up, which will be Dominic Nelson.
That's who is coming in the game.
At running back, Axel Rose, and probably Braden Ray might be in there as well. Braden's number 10. Let's see who else comes
Harrell
out.
is out there as one of the slots, Barry, so they're going to leave him in the ball game along with
Adam
Mason
Martinez.
Sellers.
Yeah, Adam Martinez is there too.
Tyler Ramage down here split out wide to the right.
Yeah, so we've seen all of Ed tonight. Ed had a good night. Going to pitch the ball back to Martinez, who will get up to the 35. So it'll be 2nd and 5. How many carries, Larry, did Ed have tonight? Ed, 27. Had 30 carries, 30 for 104.
Looks like still the starting offensive line is in the ball game for Permian.
I can understand that. He had a season high of 31 against Franklin. And that's about right. We talked at dinner that we thought he'd have about 32, so that's pretty close. Thought that Hammond and Harrell would take up the slack, and then Rodriguez, the rest of them, get the rest of the carries. This will be Nelson getting out to the 37-yard line and bring up a 3rd down and about 3.
Good handoff by Rodriguez to Nelson there, and about 2, 3, 4 yards, not too bad. 3 yards actually on 2nd down there. So it'll be 3rd and a little over, right at about 2.5 for Permian at their own 38.5-yard line.
Nelson's a senior, 13 for 81, about 6.2 per carry. Best rush of 13 before tonight, so they need to get to the 40-yard line. Harrell has been the guy to call on these kind of plays, which he does again. Going to get out to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 5 where they needed 3. 1st and 10 with 9:08 to play in the ball game.
That almost looks like the old student body pitch left and right. We used to see these Panthers run for years in their heydays of 60s and 70s and 80s out of the wing tee. You just pitch the ball, get somebody out there, and let the back run to daylight, and that's exactly what Caden did right there.
Permian playing for seeding. They want to be the Division I number 1, means that they would have a home game in round 1 of the playoffs. They would play either against El Paso Coronado or against El Paso Montwood. Montwood has been here once this year. They were beaten by Odessa High 27-0. Coronado was the team they played last year in the first round, and that's the game that Ed Williams had his best career game, ran for 290 and a career best 4 touchdowns in that one. That last run, by the way, by Adam Martinez was good for 9.
How many times have we seen El Paso, Coronado, and Permian play through the years in non-district play?
Yeah, remember that 75 game? They had a tremendous, and I'm drawing a blank, tremendous middle linebacker. And Permian managed to tie that night. Won it because of the penetration rule at the time.
I believe that was at the Sun Bowl, if I remember.
Yep. So to the 43 they will go for the first down. And it'll be 1st and 10.
Number 83 for the Panthers is split.
What was that guy's name? Was Lance
Miller?
Lance Miller. No, was it Lance Miller?
You're talking about for Permian?
No. For Coronado, he was a tremendously. He was a guy that got 18 tackles a game. And Permian managed a 14-14. Look it up on your phone real quick.
White Styles.
83?
83 down here, split out, getting some playing time for the Panthers as a wideout.
Let's see if you can look that up. 75, El Paso Coronado. But that was one of those games that Permian had to fight tooth and nail. That season ended in the state championship against, was it Houston? No, it was 85.
No, it was Port Neches Groves.
Yeah, a 75 game.
75, they lost to Port Neches Groves in the finals.
Yep.
After beating the #1 team in the state the week before in Longview up at Lubbock's Jones Stadium. A lot of our Panther fans will remember that was the night that Russell Wheatley kicked a 62-yarder.
So it's going to be a second down from the 32-yard line. What's he signaling? So it's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Going to pitch the ball at the very last second to to Alex Rose. Do that every time. The only one, the Guns N' Roses guy, just gets the name in my head. So Alex Rose, who had 35 yards and a couple of scores before tonight, is going to get a carry there down to the 28-yard line. So that was a gain of 4. Permian just methodically moving down the field, started at their 30. Dominic Nelson now getting the bulk of the carries from the tailback position. Rose and Martinez, Harrell, those are the guys that are on the flank that are also getting some opportunities. Going to pitch this one back to Martinez. Martinez still on his feet. Adams still on his feet. Adams going to be down inside the 15. Going to be down to the 13 for a gain of 15.
It's a nice little toss play around to the right. We've seen this run with Harrell and Hammond, not only tonight, but in our games past here that we've covered on our Trans Global Productions replays. And you saw a nice little block and a nice run by Adam Martinez to get all the way down to the Tiger 18-yard line and a first down for Permian, clock running at 5:08.
Yeah, I said the 13 is to the 18, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from that point. Now Dominic Nelson, the senior running back, getting a little work tonight. He has not scored this year. No, they were at the 13, not the 18, Kyle. So it was a 1st and 10 from the 13. Dominic has not scored this year, so I'm hoping at 42 gets in the end zone. Not allowed to root, but I'm hoping that he does get in there. That was a gain of 5, so it's going to be 2nd and 5. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. So Rodriguez going to pitch the ball out to Rose. Rose getting up behind a block, but he falls down to his knees. I guess the Goblins there on the turf got him. And it's going to be a 3rd down now from the 8-yard line.
Barry, we're going to start talking about some MVPs here pretty quick. Both sides of the football. I'm going to put a number down who I think you're going to go with here in the for offense. How about after this play, I do the defensive group?
All right, write down that number you think. So it's going to be from the 9. They need to be down to the 3-yard line for a first. See if Christian keeps it or if he hands the ball off to Dom. Going to, at the very last second, going to pitch the ball to Martinez, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. We'll probably...
It's an incomplete forward pass. 4th down.
Going to see Carson Roberts come out on the 13th play of the drive. They got to the 9-yard line, so really gained nothing. So Carson Roberts, who has 3 field goals. The most recent was a 28-yarder up at Amarillo. Also had a 20 and 37-yard successful kick against DeSoto in week 1. So now this will come from 26 yards away, looking to kick the ball, and it looks to be good. So from 26 yards away, Carson Roberts has Permian back on the board at 38-10 with 3.5 to play.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
The Texas oil boom has returned, and Rexco Poly Fittings is your Lone Star choice in polyethylene, steel, and brass needs with a wide variety to choose from. Locally owned and operated in the Permian Basin since 1982, Rexco's experienced staff will help you get the right fittings and valves to help you get the job done. Go to RexcoPoly.com. Rexco, your poly supply company located in Midland and Odessa.
Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Transglobal Productions, brought to you in part by Petroplex SWD Systems, by Rexco, the Lone Star Choice in Poly Pipe, and by E&E Service and Supply. There's a good shot of Carson, who got the 26-yard field goal to wrap up a 13-play drive in 6 minutes and 54 seconds. They went 61 yards on that one, and very comfortably at 38-10. So let's talk defensive MVPs.
Well, since Permian is going on defense, I think tonight I'm going to go with number 5, Christian Schauner. I've got him unofficially with 4 tackles. I think the big play for Permian in the first half was that interception he had that kind of got momentum going to Permian, and they ended up going down scoring. My defensive MVP choice tonight, Christian Schauner.
And I'll tell you mine in just a moment. I'll get Larry to give me the card, and I will look at it and give you the numbers. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 20. Going to hand the ball off to Bayouth. Finally found some running room. There goes William. Get him on the ground, guys. Going to be all the way out to the 43-yard line for a gain of 23. And as soon as you mark that, Larry, if you'd give me the card there for a second. Christian Rodriguez is going to be my choice as the offensive MVP. He ran 8 times for 40 yards, 4 of 6 for 102 passing. Ed Williams, you'd think, would be the choice with 104 on 30 carries. But I'm going to go.
They're stale with a pick right there, Barry.
I'm going to go with Christian Rodriguez. So Christian Rodriguez on offense, Christian Schauner on defense.
It's the Christian show.
Yeah, now the interception by Stell, Chase Stell's team-leading 5th interception of the season, will set Permian back up in offense at the 36-yard line. And that is the, second interception of the night.
The 2 safeties have each of the picks.
Yep, that's right. So starting now from the Frenship 36-yard line. Probably the same guys all lined up out there. It's going to be Rodriguez. Yep. Going to be number 42. Yep. Going to hand the ball off to the senior tailback, Dominic Nelson. Getting some good work tonight. So the most times that he's carried the ball coming into the ball game, he had 7 for 40 against Los Fresnos. How many carries is that, Larry? 5. So he's got 5 tonight. So he may equal his season best. I want to get him in the end zone. Come on, guys, get down there and give it to 42. He might have jumped the gun a little bit there. There he goes. There he goes.
No, you didn't either.
Well, Dominique's going to be down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 12-yard line. That's going to be a 19-yard gain, and that will be his longest of the season. He had a 13-yarder earlier. Man, what a run that time. They blew open a hole for him, and there's a timeout on the field. We have 2:09 to play. Permian comfortably in front. Panthers,
time out of the half.
Panthers 38, Tigers 10. Back in a moment.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
For great flooring values and real customer service, forget the frustration of the big box stores. Paul Evans trained flooring professionals will save you time, money, and hassle on your next flooring project. Whether do-it-yourself or professionally installed, Paul Evans offers great values on carpet, tile, hardwood, and waterproof flooring. Paul Evans Flooring, Odessa and Midland. For over 30 years,
you just can't beat a Paul Evans deal.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
A Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced by Transglobal Productions in association with Rose's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and Complex Community Federal Credit Union.
A pretty good takedown by number 45 right there for the Frenship Tigers. I'm going to get that name for you right there. 45 is sophomore linebacker Alex Briggs.
A lot of underclassmen as they started the game tonight. They had 2 juniors on the front, 2 sophomores at linebacker, and 2 juniors back in the secondary. So a very young team that could be a force the next couple or 3 years. Christian's going to hand the ball off to Dominique, who gets wrapped up at the 10-yard line and will bring about a 3rd and long. Don't think he's going to throw it here, do you?
No. I think we're going to see either. I think Nelson's going to get it again. I wouldn't be surprised if Christian doesn't pull it and maybe try to run, get something himself. But we're going to be down inside a minute as this play is snapped.
Now they've got a couple of guys, Justin Gonzalez and Matt Cobb are both in there, so maybe one of those will get a chance to do something.
Yep.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Went the wrong direction. Going to push him out of bounds at the 16-yard line, so he gets a shot at it, and he goes backwards, and they lose 6 yards. That was Justin Gonzalez, who comes out of the slot. He's a senior, and so now a 4th down play. Will they trot back on Roberts to try to kick?
No.
30 seconds left in the ball game.
We'll do a simple handoff here, Barry. I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't take a knee.
Dr. Pepper Game of the Week produced and directed by Bob Bailey. Debbie Bailey handles replay. We'll look at this 4th down play before I give you the rest of the crew that does such a great job week in and week out. Christian's going to be down to the 5 or down to the 10, and so he's going to be short of what they need for a first. Our main camera guys tonight, family of Jason and Grant Barrage, Justin Oakes in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo in the south, Pete and John Delgado, our grips that do such a good job of helping us lay the cords out and round them back up. Larry Thornhill, our statistician, for the last time this year as he goes into retirement next summer. And then Kyle Hubbard and me, Barry Sykes, doing the commentary. So let me have some of that Hubbard stuff telling me what you think.
Well, I think this has been a very Workman-like.
That's a good word.
Yeah, workman-like effort by the Panthers. And I'll tell you what, Grande Communication Stadium might be rocking next week as the Panthers and Rebels match up. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a big game for us next week between Odessa High and Midland High.
Yeah, because the winner of that game will be the Division I number 2 seed and will advance to the playoffs. So the big game next week, as far as playoff implications go, will be here at Ratliff between the Broncos and the Midland High Bulldogs. Well, the Panthers have won the second game in this 5-game series, 2 in a row, after last year's 66-14 win and tonight's 38-10 victory. Appreciate you being here with us on the Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced by Transglobal Productions. Permian with the win, and now they can set their sights on a district championship possibility as they will head to Grande Stadium next Friday night and to date with the Midland Lee Rebels.